Most players choose an opening, memorize the variations, and start playing. But that's the problem. You see, before you learn an opening, you must know some basic chess principles which will act as a guideline for you to play good chess moves if your opponent surprises you in the opening. This also helps you understand and remember the opening theory better. Let's take an example. Suppose you play any opening, let's say the Queen's Gambit. Then you know you have to play d4, c4, develop your knight, bishop, etc., move them out of their places and continue the game. Here comes principle number 1. Develop and activate the pieces quickly. All these bishop, knight, rook, which we move out of their places and into the action is called developing the pieces. Not only do you have to develop the pieces, but also you must develop them in the center to make the best use of them. So in this example, we develop the pieces and move them towards the center. So here the knight on c3 acts on the squares of d5 and e4 and the bishop targets this diagonal. Our next principle is about pawns. Pawns are the soul of chess, but in the opening, if we move too many of them, then we create weaknesses in our camp as pawns cannot guard squares backwards. So rule number 2 states that we must not make too many pawn moves in the opening phase. For example, when we randomly push pawns to attack our opponent's pieces, we do gain a lot of center control, but we leave too many weaknesses behind. If not careful, these squares, including the pawns, are weaknesses. Alright, principle number 3. Don't bring your queen out too early. Okay, quite often you can checkmate your opponents easily with the scholars made by bringing your queen out and checkmating him within 4 moves. But this completely violates this opening principle. If your opponent has already fallen into this trap, he will be prepared with a defense. Here, instead of knight to f6, he can play g6, kicking your queen away. If you move queen to f3, again threatening a mate, he'll play knight to f6. If you go g4 trying to attack the knight and checkmate him, he'll play knight to d4 and move your queen away again. In the same position, we witness principle number 4. Don't move the same piece twice. If we move the same piece twice, it will lead to wastage of moves. Like for example, here the queen has moved to h5 and f3 and has not made any change in the position. And this also leads to undevelopment of the other pieces like this rook, knight, bishop, knight and rook and including the king have not been developed yet, while black can easily develop his pieces and castle quickly in the next moves. There's an exception. Obviously, if you see a free piece, you must take it if there is no serious harm like a mate. So all rules are connected to each other in some way or the other. Okay, principle number 5. Castle early. Like in this position, black can castle early, but white cannot. This might lead to serious problems in the future, like being checkmated in the middle of the board. And principle 6 states that you must connect your rooks. This is a sign of proper development of all your pieces, moving away from the last rank and making way for the rooks in the open files. In chess, not only is the opening phase important, but also the rest of the game. Here is the next concept for you to learn. It is the secret to accurate chess calculations.